I want to take you back now. There's a guy known as Bollywood's Clint Eastwood. Mm-hmm. Okay, Feroz Khan, for those that don't know. Mm-hmm. I love this story. I love your willingness to put yourself out there and take risk, because most good things that happen in life require a little bit of skin on the line, require a little bit of brazen steps to get there. And can you tell us, like, Feroz Khan is just like big time.
Huge.
It's massive.
Massive.
So
he's always massive, It's like,
so how does the young guy trying to break his way into acting connect with someone like that? Tell us the story.
So I just finished my master's. I had been dating my wife for 27 years. Jesus, time has passed. I was dating her, and she's a doctor, so we got married, just to fast track her. She had to come here, so we said, okay, we dated for a year and a half. We were here. I was struggling, and no one knew that I had only a couple of $1,000s in my bank, and I was working part-time as an inbound telemarketer, doing a 3 to 11 shift. And the reason I did that, so no one knows about me. I was doing plays at Belvoir Street Theatre, which...
Oh, yeah. We used to go there during school and watch plays at the Belvoir Street Theatre. Yeah.
I did an Asian theatre festival there. I would do Indian plays. We were doing all kinds of job. And then I still remember I had my new mobile. It was 97, in November. I had my new mobile. Mobiles were just coming in. I finished my shift. And there's a very famous shop in Cleveland Street in Sydney called Monica Spices, which is like one of the OG spice shops. And the guy there, Vikram Sharma, he's an old friend, always supported me, always loved the fact that I think I still haven't checked the fact, but he says I'm the first Indian-born film graduate in Australia. Anyway, Feroz Khan was here looking for locations. He came to his shop, and they had conversations, and Vikram mentioned to him that, Anupam had graduated, blah, blah, blah. So I finished my shift, and I have a message from him. And the message said, Anu, call me. And the voice was gargled, and it says, Feroz Khan is here. Now, Feroz Khan is very close to pronunciation to Feroz Khan, and she's a very famous choreographer. She's the one, who choreographed Kylie Minogue later on in Boogie Woogie with Farah Khan. So many other people, So I called him the next day in the morning at about 10 o'clock. And I said, Vikramji, you called me. You said Feroz Khan. Why are you telling me that? He goes, not Feroz Khan, silly. It's Feroz Khan. The Feroz Khan. He goes, yeah, the Feroz Khan. I said, okay. Can I have his number, please? He goes, oh, that I didn't take. I said, okay, so where is he staying? He said, I don't know about that. So I said, you're kidding me? Like, you're telling me he's here. You don't have his number. Does he have an email? He said, I don't think he has emails. I never asked. Emails are just literally coming in at that time. So I said, oh, great. Thanks a lot for teasing me now. You told me he's here. He's in the same town as me. And I can't get in touch with him. And he laughed. He said, sorry about that. But next time he comes, I'm sure he will come in a couple of weeks to get, some Indian stuff. And I'll tell him. I said, yeah, whatever. I put the phone down. And I believe a lot in energies. I said, no, there is a reason why we had this conversation. So MJ, what I said was, you know what? I'm going to call 3 hotels out of the blue with my understanding of where he could be staying. If he's there in the first one, it's a life-changing thing. If there's something bound to happen. If he's there in the second, third, something might happen. If he's not there, any 3 of them, then it's what? $1.40. I think the local call was 50 cents at that time.
Yep.
So I still remember as if it was yesterday, although it was November 97. I called up Hilton Hotel because I was very sure that kind of his persona, his personality. And I said, could I talk to one of your guests with the surname Khan? And the voice on the other side said, would that be Mr. Feroz Khan? And I said, Jesus. And I just kept quiet. And she said, connecting you through. And one of the times you wish that it goes to an answering machine?
Yeah.
Kept on wishing. The phone rang out, came back to her. I said, thank God, no machine. She goes, he's not in the room. Would you like to leave a message? So I said, yep. Could you please tell that the usual thing, spell your name, because Australia was still becoming diverse at the time. So I
Yeah,
just spelled
yeah.
him and Sharma. She goes, great. And who do I say you are? And while she was asking me this question, because I was expecting she would ask me that, my brain was going tick, 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 tick. I said, if I say I'm an actor, he's not going to call back. Struggling actors galore. If I say I'm a director, he's already directing it. No chance. At that time, MJ, one of my classmates had gone to England and joined BBC Films as a film consultant.
Mm.
And that word sounded really sexy for, a young guy. So I said, Anupam Sharma, film consultant. She goes, okay. As in cinema. I said, yep. She put it down, put the phone down. And I still remember, except for my younger brother, everyone was just laughing at me at home. She goes, look at your dreams. You've just finished your master's and you think Feroz Khan is going to call you. You've just left a message for him. And I said, yeah, just shush. Nothing happened. The day 6:45, 6:50, I get a call on my mobile private number. And I pick it up, and the voice on the other side said, is that Mr. Sharma? I said, yes. It was an Indian accent. And the guy went, hello, Mr. Sharma. This is Mario Fernandez. I'm Mr. Feroz Khan's assistant. And I believe you left a message for him. I said, yes, I did. He said, Mr. Khan was wondering if you can have coffee with him tomorrow at Hilton. And I cooled down and I said, yeah, sure. What time? And the rest went on its own. But I mean, I won't bore you with the longer story. But what happened was I went there next time and, in the morning, and he said, Anu, what are you here for? And I had a fan moment. And that's when I decided, I said, I've given 5 years to this industry in studying. Do I remain a fan or do I claim my position in the industry? And I said, I want to claim my position in the industry. And I looked at him. He walked in, he had a cowboy hat. And I don't know if your listeners know, but in India, there is a rustic form of cigarette called the bidi, which is tobacco leaves. He always had that unlit, and it would move from one side to the other. So unlit cigarella. And he had a personality, huge personality. And he just looked at me, Anupam, so what are we going to do? Are you here to say hello, take my autographs? And I still remember I looked at him and I said, I don't know, Mr. Khan. I've seen your films. I have studied them. I have learned from them. I've finished my master's in films and I hear you're filming here. Anything I can do to help you out? And I still remember he took back. He said, oh, okay, sure. And we kept on talking. You know how I did my Qantas voices and stuff. So I spoke to them and I got him, if he showed a landing and takeoff of Qantas, I got him 1 ton free and half the tickets free. He was then going on to Victoria, came back. I met him again. I got him the deal. He said, oh, thank you, Anu. And that, I think, was the clinching moment of my life and how he became my mentor. And he said, how much do I owe you? I said, what do you mean owe me? And he said, well, you got me all this deal. I said, Mr. Khan, I'm not a broker. I love films and I have contacts. So if I could get something which benefits you, that's great for me. But I'm not going to take money for making deals. I'm here to make films and learn films. And I think he went back, he called me, and then Daniel Lucas was supposed to be heading up his production, who was looking after someone who knew India and knew films. So I fell into the right place. And then Mr. Khan came and I said, how do I, he said, Anu, you're going to be heading up production. And first job out of the film school or film course. And I was heading up the most senior position on a film set after a producer or director, which is the head of production or line producer. And I can't use that language, but I was, I was really stressed. But I had my education to back me up. And I went to my supervisor, Ross Harley, and I said, look, he's offered me the head of production. What do I do? And Ross Harley said, what do you want to do in life? I said, I want to make movies. He said, well, you will always struggle as a creative person. So you decide whether you want to struggle waiting tables on a cafe or you want to struggle running your own company, servicing people in this new market. And the penny dropped. So I accepted his job. And I still remember, in terms of money, he just met me and he said, Anu, so you're free? I said, look, I left my part-time job at the call center. I said, look, I've taken a 3-month sabbatical from there. He wanted me for 12 weeks. And he said, okay, Anu. He gave me a 4-figure amount. And he said, Anu, I'll be giving this to you. And I said, okay, the 12 weeks, 4-figure amount, that's fine. I can live with it. At least I'm getting it. And he said, you will get that every Saturday. So what he was quoting was a weekly payment. And I just looked at his eyes. I said, sure. Are you happy with that? I said, whatever you give me, Mr. Khan. And inside I was just bursting. My first job in 12 weeks, he paid me what people in Australia in my industry were making in 18 months kind of thing, or 12 months. But it was never the money. We were having 12, 14-hour days. He went back after 3 days. And the biggest compliment, apart from the money, the break and everything, was meeting all these Bollywood stars. And he went back. And we had a very emotional send-off. And he called me his protege. And he went back. And the first 5 projects we did after that from India were the 5 top film production companies. And for me, as I say in my film as well, for me, I was over the moon, because doing, producing Indian films in Australia, or line producing, or just working between the Australian Indian film industry at that time as the only professional, feeding every part of me. The Australian inside me was so happy that I was giving Australia a new revenue stream from India. I was embracing Indian culture by bringing India, Bollywood in it. The Indian inside me was over the moon, because I was working with stars with whom I had grown up. The filmmaker inside me was saying, hang on a second, I am making, wages. And this is my full-time job in a country like Australia, where so many people are out of job in the film industry. So everyone inside me every part of me was just full of it. And the journey began.